Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the action. We are coming to you live from the great city of Copenhagen. Semi-final action of the Mr. Vegas Nordic Darts Masters, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome back our players. Would you please welcome back the winner of 3 Grand Slam titles, a World Grand Prix champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the reigning and defending Nordic Darts Master. And ladies and gentlemen, a 2-time World Cup champion and the former champion of the world, the Iceman, Gerwyn. The winner of 21 PDC titles worldwide, a 2-time European champion, the winner of 5 World Series titles, a World Match Play champion, and the former champion of the world, Rob.
Who will be joining Stephen Bunting in this year's Nordic Darts Masters final? It's a rematch of last year's final where Gerwyn Price triumphed here in Copenhagen 12 months ago. Both players very impressive in their quarterfinals, particularly Gerwyn Price with that record-breaking average in this tournament, breaking the record set by Rob Cross 12 months ago, getting by the world #1 Luke Humphries. For Rob Cross, he barely broke sweat in that quarter-final, coming ranked #9 in the world, dispatched of Christobi, 6 legs without reply, and looking for back-to-back titles on the World Series for the second time. He doubled up down under in 2023, looking to do it here, having won the previous World Series Dutch Darts Masters earlier on in the year. But it's a stern test for him. Gerwyn Price, as we've said, is talking a great game. He's really confident at the minute, and he's backing it up. Twice an overall World Series champion and got to the playoffs of the Premier League. And based on what we've seen, not just this evening but last night, Mark Wilson, you feel Gerwyn Price is the man to beat.
He is. He's the man who's just broken the tournament record average, and he's in fine form at the moment. He's still got a rich history, hasn't it, when it comes to big events. They've featured in 5 finals across a series of events, 3 of which have been won by Gerwyn Price.
Game on!
Price beat Price in the US Darts Masters final last year. Price got revenge in the Nordic Masters. And when Gerwyn Price won the World Series of Darts finals in 2020, he beat Rob Cross in the final. So they've got a good knowledge of each other. This could be a really good contest, but you would say that Price would be the slight favourite going into this one, with Stephen Bunting waiting in the final.
Yeah, both players would have maybe thought they were going to be up here slightly earlier after seeing Stephen Bunting race into a 5-leg lead. But
59.
Nathan Aspinall kept him honest. Bunting getting over the line 7-5 in the end. For Rob Cross. Said, once I get past my first game on a World Series, I feel I'm a threat, and early indications here are good for Voltage.
Yeah, he's got his first max, and Price follows up with one of his own as well. He's played 26 of these events prior to this one. 5 wins, 5 runners-up for Rob Cross, so I think he's quite right to talk up his chances, isn't he, when he does get past the opening game. He generally goes all the way.
With that CV he's got, he should always talk up his chances, Rob Cross. Looked a lot more settled against Chris. That was allowed to settle. Bobby didn't really turn up, he'd acknowledge that.
Rob, you require 70.
Chance for an early break here for Rob.
Treble 18, that's an ominous sign, isn't it? Double 8 then. Just to move along the Okia fraction.
54.
Doesn't adjust. So Price here,
Gerwyn,
I think
you
you'd have been
require
expecting
100.
that 70 to go.
He's gone tops. I thought he may have stayed just because the guy was so good on the treble 20
80.
and he couldn't find the tops on this occasion.
Rob,
He did
you
earlier on
require
against Luke
16.
Humphreys.
Yeah, I think just that hesitation, he had to check whether that first one was in. So double 8 is hit. We get an early break of throw. Rob Cross off and running in the semi-final.
First. Game on.
Against darts. Looking for match number 2 and getting match number 2, Rob Cross. Getting out the blocks well here.
Yeah, 3 in the opening leg and a visit between the pair.
135.
Signs are good. Well, Rob Cross was the tournament average record holder prior to that last game for Price, and the way he's starting here, he looks like a man who's looking to get it back. He's looking like a man who's going to hit the 3rd perfect leg in the World Series of Darts history.
134.
Rob Cross hit one in the Premier League in Brighton this year. Not going to hit one here in Copenhagen. Well, not as of yet, but this is important in context of the match. It is early, but get yourself out in front.
45.
Yeah, and he could have left that handier than he has done, but Price got to get a ton minimum. Well, he's done even better than that. That's a great last 2 darts. All of a sudden, Price not guaranteed to hold throw here.
Just spraying him about a bit now, Rob. Good rescue. Can he complete the rescue mission here? He can.
76. Gerwyn, you require
With 6 into the
92.
perfect leg, he could find that he's going to get his throw broken here.
Double.
56.
Can't get it. So Cross breathes a sigh of
Robbie
relief.
required 20.
Looking for a 13 dart holder throw here and a 2-0 lead.
Just a slight movement to the left, but that looked, he just overcooked it. And that smile from Rob Cross, he's not relishing this.
15.
Pulls it low and disappointing for Rob.
36.
Double 9.
Games from the second leg.
Early breaks at the start of the second semi-final.
Third leg, Gerwyn at third first.
Rob Cross will be
on.
kicking himself there. 4 darts missed for a 2-0 lead.
You don't even contemplate having your throw broken when you go off 180, 180.
93.
He's made a mess of that, Rob. Back-to-back breaks to start our second semi-final. Contrast to semi-final 1 where we saw Bunting race into a 5-leg
47.
lead.
Yeah, he missed 3 darts in it to win 7-1 and in the end was hanging on. But
101.
Bunting is through to a third successive final in the World Series of Darts in 2025.
Either outcome here, we're going to have a repeat of one of the World Series finals from the beginning of the year. Bahrain, it was Bunting versus Price. Bunting triumphant. A week later in Den Bosch, it was Bunting v Cross, where Cross was triumphant. A very familiar feel to the World Series in 2025 at the back end of tournaments.
Yeah, this trio are making a habit of picking up some big prizes and big prize money as well. He's going to be down on a finish. Stay there. Oh, that's a great third dart.
Matches aren't won and lost early,
56. Gerwyn, you
early in
require
legs, early in the
132.
contest, but they can dictate how they pan out. And Rob Cross will see the previous leg as a real change as Price eyes up the ball and can't quite find it.
99.
Yeah, that first start was always going to be problematic there.
164.
6-4. Price will be back.
119. Gerwyn, you require 33.
Well, the balls to put a bit of pressure on. 9 for double 12.
Game from the third leg.
Well, it's the first time we've heard the roar, isn't it, this weekend?
Focus.
He's got plenty of supporters here in Copenhagen, that is for sure, and he leads 2-1.
Big reaction from Price as he hits the front in the semi-final. Does like that double 12. It'd be awkward going 9 for double 12 because you kind of obscure the target a little bit if your dart kicks up. Dealt with it really well there, Gerwyn.
$97. $140.
Nice average early on from Cross, but he finds himself on the wrong end of the scoreboard at the moment. If he's not careful here, could get broken again, but another one of those in the red bit.
140.
Puts him back in control of the leg.
You say that. Look at that visit from Gerwyn Price.
Robbie McGuire, 124.
There's a couple of 1-2-9s in his quarter-final earlier on, Rob Cross. Against Chris Dobie. Needs this 1-2-4. Staring down that bullseye. And hitting the bullseye, and he's giving it some now as well. Big reactions from both players early in this match, 2 apiece, and acknowledged by Gerwyn Price.
Makings of a cracker.
100.
Both players getting animated, but Price was calm and collected as he collected his darts after an opening max.
100. $99.
Price keeping a healthy lead over Rob Cross in this 5th leg.
93.
Decent last one for Rob. The leg here will guarantee that Price will at least be level at the interval. Reminder, break after 6 legs.
96.
Yeah, but if Price does hold throw here, he'll be going all out for that break, won't he, just before the break. Cross has been good on that treble 18.
126. Gerwyn, you require 126.
Doesn't need to go the ball route. And that's not the friendliest of first darts. He's going to persevere.
54.
Seemed pretty determined to stay there, didn't he? Do you think he would have taken the ball on?
I'm sure that he's determined to sort of force his way through.
$104. Gerwyn, you require 72.
And this double 12, he's so comfortable on this double, Gerwyn Price. How is he on the switch?
60.
Well, as I say that, a couple of misses, and it's Cross's chance to break again.
It is. 18 will leave in that same double 12 target. Will he have a little bit more accuracy? He too now looks at double 6. Gets it. Cross breaks again.
Rob Cross. 6 leg are up to focused. Game on.
Pace of that visit from Rob. Starting a leg with a max again. Rob won't need reminding, it offers no guarantees.
63.
He had a couple of them in the second leg, but managed to see his throw broken. But looking to make his move here and grab himself a 2-leg lead at the interval.
140.
Oh, he's looking to consolidate that break.
82.
Reminder, Stephen Bunting already in the final tonight. Looking to pick up a second World Series of Darts title this year.
90.
Good leg from Rob. Even a maximum here from Gerwyn Price isn't going to leave a finish, so there's no need for Rob to get too creative with his 91.
59.
Can't take it out, make sure you're coming back with 3 in hand at a double.
Robbie require 91.
Can he tidy it in 2? To open up a 2-leg cushion. 2 10s. Surprised there he's gone inside. You almost thought he might have burned a dart there.
Yeah, well, just a sort of
137.
sensible dart. You know, if you're gonna miss the double 10, miss it outside because you're so far ahead in the leg. He may split this because he pulled really low on double 5 earlier in the match.
Well, that was a safe one. And that was an accurate one. He got there in the end. And Rob Cross sums up a 2-leg advantage as he looks to set up a final meeting with Stephen Bunting. The race to 7 at the break. Rob Cross leads Gerwyn Price by 4 legs to 2. The Forum in Copenhagen has enjoyed a fantastic night of darts. Just 3 players remain. We know that Stephen Bunting is already through to the final of the Nordic Darts Masters. The only question remaining, who will he play in that final? Will it be Rob Cross or will it be Gerwyn Price? Cross with a break and a hold just before the break has a 4-2 advantage and is looking in good order to set up a rematch of the Dutch Darts Masters in Den Bosch back in January. Can Cross kick on and get the 3 legs he needs? It's fair to say, Mark Webster, he's averaging over 105 and he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, made his move at the right time there. Back-to-back legs before the break, Rob. Not better every game. Just slightly between round 1 and the quarterfinals. Price. He's got to keep his focus. It's just the solitary breaker throw, and if he recoups that break, he would then become favourite courtesy of winning the ball.
$60.
It's important Price holds his throw here.
$134.
He's throwing some good stuff at the moment.
Yeah, he's making Gerwyn Price work really hard in this match. Force his way through into the treble there.
60. Gerwyn, you require 120.
Needs a red bit just below. There it is. Tops then.
Gains from the 7th leg.
Superb from Price. Another ton plus out. That's to Rob Cross. 1-2-4 earlier in the piece.
It's back within 1, and Gerwyn Price will back himself to find opportunities against the Rob Cross throw. He's already broken the cross throw early in the match. Granted, it was after some errors
58.
from Rob. Delicately poised semi-final too. It was all one-sided for the vast majority of semi-final 1 before Nathan Aspinall got himself back within 1, but Bunting eventually getting over the line.
85.
Yeah, Bunting will be enjoying watching these two battle it out. He's still finally poised despite that Rob Cross break of throw, and he's in good order here as he looks to re-establish that 2-leg lead.
Rob, you require 160.
6 darts at this if needed, and he may not need them.
100.
He'll settle for that single to double combination. Price back on 2-3-3, but making a hole in that.
140. Rob, you require
Yeah, they like
60.
to fill that up, wouldn't he, just for the effect. Single for tops then. Well, that's a bit of a problem. And that is a sensational dart.
Yeah, he did well to get in there, didn't he? Because the first dart was so high on the double. Rob Cross edging closer.
45.
2 legs away from a rematch of the Dutch Darts Masters final, which Rob Cross went on to win against Stephen Bunting earlier in the year.
97.
Price needs to get busy quickly. Drop dart. Is there anyone in the world that drops their darts more than Gerwyn?
No, and he's so effective when he picks it up, he just resets himself, doesn't he? He did it mid-9 darts in Belfast in the Premier League a few years back.
24. $58.
Just a bit of a lull at the moment. Cross still averaging over 101.
$97.
And Rob Cross break here, and then he'd be turning on his heel to throw for the match, but Gerwyn Price is doing his utmost to keep pace with Rob and keep their ears with just 1 break.
Price waits.
100. Gerwyn, you require 78.
Time on his hands. Well then, double.
58.
Well, misses outside. Yeah, hitting the tops can be a blessing, because at 20 for tops you can block the target. He knew he was going for an open bed there, Gerwyn Price.
91.
And yet again to get back within 1.
Games on the 9th leg. Gerwyn Price.
It is within 1, Gerwyn Price. It's going to be a nervy end to this semi-final. Rob Cross with that delicate lead, just the 1 breaker throw.
100.
Both players would look to up those checkout percentages, but there's another one. No wonder he stopped playing rugby.
45.
He's turned out to be a pretty good dart player though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's not the worst move he's ever made, is it?
140.
Being made to work here, Gerwyn Price. And his margin for error
56.
is getting smaller and smaller here as we head to the finishing line.
Cross
91.
leaves the big fish, even though his opponent is a long way behind. Quite so far behind now, though, is he?
170.
Rob Cross will hope that that's just too little too late for Gerwyn Price in this leg. Another one of them. Now, brilliant set-up play.
134.
Is he going to go back-to-back?
140.
Not quite. But Cross to move within one of victory.
Robbie required 36.
Defended his throw pretty well after the break, Rob Cross, and uses the guide really well and is one away from another World Series final. Price needs 3 successive legs. Positive, they are the right way round in terms of he only needs the 1 breaker throw with a couple of holds.
Yeah, job number 1, win this 11th leg. Put the pressure back on Rob Cross. He's continually been
43.
above 100 with his average throughout this game, Rob Cross. And he's always had Price an arm's length, has he, ever since that break, just before the break.
Crowd trying to G up Gerwyn Price.
67.
The Price, like you said, Mark, made a good point. First and foremost, get the hold of throw here. Don't overly concern yourself with trying to break the Rob Cross throw until you've held up your end of the bargain.
It's not often that Price gets this kind of adulation when he's on his travels. And he's certainly getting it here in Copenhagen, the defending champion, of course, but his title defence is hanging by a thread at the moment.
I'll start again.
170.
From Rob Cross, it was similar to that dart he forced through at tops to find the second treble. And we'll get a chance to wrap up the semi-final in style here.
Rob, you require 156.
And some big finishes across the weekend. Are we getting another one here? No, a wayward dart.
100.
Price to stay alive. 76.
Needs this to stay in the Nordic Darts Masters, and is the defence of his title coming to an end. Match-winning opportunities for Rob Cross here.
Should get 2 darts. Looking for 20 for double 18 and a place in the Nordic Darts Masters final against Stephen Bunting to wrap up a 7-4 victory over the Welshman. I'm happy with that. Double 9. Adjusts beautifully, and Rob Cross sets up a rematch of the Dutch Darts Masters final here in the Nordic Darts Masters. He will take on Stephen Bunting in the final. Crosses through, Price applauds the crowd who are on his side, but the champion is out. Cross has beaten him by 7 legs to 4.